Let's talk about your new project as a director, Zwigato. Very inspired casting choice. We'll get to the film in a moment. But Kapil Sharma, whom we sort of know for his mega blockbuster comedy show, playing the protagonist. And, you reportedly told him that even if Shahrukh Khan had said yes, and what you meant by that was...
Actually, I never said that. I was telling him, I said, I never... He said, नहीं, आपने बोला था. मैंने कहा, नहीं, मैंने नहीं बोला था.
मुझे नंदिता ने बोला कि शाहरुख खान भी होता तो मैं शाहरुख खान नहीं कपिल शर्मा को कास्ट करती.
मैंने ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोला था क्योंकि मैंने लिखते वक्त ही कपिल शर्मा नहीं सोचा था, to be honest. I thought of two other actors. Because of COVID, things went crazy and I had to... And then when I started thinking, like, who should I cast? He literally popped up on my screen.
And you'd never seen his show?
I'd never seen his show. I don't have a television for last 7 years. But I knew of him and I knew he was very popular. But more importantly, he just seemed so natural in this award function with Karan Johar. He seemed supernatural. He was making jokes about ordinary people as if he was ordinary, and we now know that he's no more in terms of at least ordinary, quote unquote.
Correct.
So I must have said something like that he must have said why have you come to me? And most people thought...
what was the first thing he said? Because
he said, आपने मेरे बारे में सोचा कैसे? आपकी जैसी फिल्म के लिए. And he had seen Firak and Manto. So I was actually quite sort of impressed. I was like, oh, he's actually seen my work, and I was feeling a little embarrassed
that
I hadn't seen his work.
Yeah.
So what I said was that I haven't come to you because you're a star or you're popular or you have this there is something about you that is vulnerable, that is natural, that is like an ordinary man. And Mrinal Sen had many years ago told me that you have an extraordinarily ordinary face, that you can fit into any... तुम मलयाली भी लग सकती हो, बंगाली भी लग सकती हो, गुजराती भी, so something like that. So I told him that incident. And I might have said that, it's not a star war की बात नहीं है. There's something about you that just looks and feels like Manas, the character. So I don't know where he got this whole Shahrukh Khan thing, and of course you journalists picked that up. Up to Shahrukh Khan.
I mean, it's a
it's
full
like
quotable
in a platter.
Quote. Yeah, you give it to us. You give it to us on a plate. I mean, are we not going to take it?
I didn't.
But
what
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
what you were trying to say was that you didn't go out looking for the big star.
Yeah.
You went out looking for someone who felt like the regular delivery boy person.
So he's an ex-floor manager in a factory. That's his background.
The protagonist.
And he, like many people who lost their jobs, sat at home for 8 months. And then this was this option, which he's just taken for a month. The story begins from a time when he's just done this for a month. So he's not quite fitting into those young delivery boys who are still quick with the app. And he was part of that traditional workspace where you have colleagues, you have a boss, you have a few people that you control and all of that. Now suddenly you're left with your phone and your bike and on your own. So, he seemed like a little awkward even in that space, and which is what worked also, I felt, for this character.
And this idea was born from the pandemic years?
Totally. I mean, it was supposed to be a short film. I was trying to put an anthology of 4 directors with 4 short stories about what is modern India, what is urban India all about, what is the India that we know of today. And this was my story. And it was completely born out of this contactless delivery and these people who are just sort of randomly the only thing that combines or binds them is their t-shirt. So they all belong to the same world, but they don't even know each other, you know, and we don't know them at all.
Because hardly any of us bother to talk to them.
Yeah, and even when they say कि madam please 5-star दे दीजिएगा या rate कर दीजिएगा, and we are like, okay, अभी तो खाना भी नहीं खाया और तुमको rating की पड़ी है, as if we take ourselves so seriously, being so entitled that as if giving that 5-star as if we are doing a great thing, or if somebody is bad, it's like, I'll show it to you, I'm going to not give you 1 star. So it does talk about this whole thing of the anxieties around star ratings and incentives and understanding or not being able to understand the world of algorithms.
Yeah. Do you think that the audience will be able to step back from Kapil Sharma being Kapil Sharma?
I think so. I was, to be honest, when I started realizing how big he was, once in a while on set, he would say, "Madam, आपको पता नहीं है मैं कितना बड़ा star हूँ," in a joking way, and I would laugh and I would say, "अच्छा है ना, नहीं पता है," फिर मैं डांट नहीं पाती कि अच्छा ऐसे करो टाइम से क्यों नहीं आए वगैरह वगैरह, So it's good that we have a nice equal footing. But I think in Toronto, there were some people in the audiences who had come only for Kapil.
Yeah.
Usually when I go with a film, it's a festival audience broadly.
Right.
There can be South Asians,
Right.
foreigners, etc. But there were some people who had first time come to a festival only because Kapil Sharma was there. So I was wondering, and they kept asking me, comedy है इसमें? Comedy? मैंने कहा नहीं जी, comedy तो नहीं है, आप ये सोच के मत जाइए. They start at the end of the film. They said, हम भूल गए कि वो कपिल शर्मा थे. So we got sucked into the story enough. I'm sure in the beginning maybe they're like, oh, that's Kapil Sharma, and those are the moments like the arc of the film. It allows you that time to kind of settle into the story.
So do you think Kapil Sharma the actor is here, or is this like a one-off experiment?
You'll actually forget that it's an actor. I hope that Manas and Pratima, as any good film should, right? You shouldn't be... I mean, such big actors like Shahrukh or Amir or Salman have done all kinds of roles. I mean...
Yeah. No, I mean for Kapil...
For
Kapil, do you think he's now crossed over into a different
No, I think he will... Obviously, his bread and butter and his, the love that he gets from people is through his show. So I think that's going to be there for a while. But yeah, I think he's had a taste of what it can be to be an actor, to be outdoor. Like he would say कि मुझे तो धूप की आदत ही नहीं है, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं कि धूप में मैं तो जाता हूँ स्टूडियो पे जाता हूँ वापस आता हूँ. Like one day he said भीड़ से उनको बाइक चला के जाना था, and he said मैं तो भीड़ की खुशबू भूल गया हूँ. So he talks about, I mean there's something that he's obviously, because he's very rooted and he's not forgotten those days. I mean obviously it's like 1/4 of his life is in Bombay and all of this, but there is also a 3/4 of his life that was in Amritsar, that also saw days of struggle. So I think he drew from that. It wasn't like he was struggling to get into the skin of it. And because he's natural, when you're not over the top, it does make your job as a director much easier. But he's not used to acting. So it's not like he has an instinct of an actor to respond and, though he's come from theatre. In fact, when we went to Amritsar, he took me to that place, Natshala, where he first started doing theatre. He made me meet his mentor. So it's in him. It's just that he also needs the right people around him, the director, the co-actors, the environment. Then he totally sort of slipped in. I have a feeling it's going to open doors for many more offers to him, and I hope he does different and interesting things.
Like I said, inspired casting.